Hey, and welcome to That Filthy Show, Season 2, Episode 7. Well, I tried really hard, but I couldn't find a pro-Trump burlesque performer. You'd think there would be at least one, but no. And I couldn't find a Canadian living in the States because they didn't want to tell anyone they're Canadian in the States. So tonight's episode is a little twist. I got two female comics coming to talk about their experiences in the industry and how they got started and the challenges they faced. So if you are a U.S. viewer, please go out tomorrow, vote. Win or lose, please don't riot. Please just, let's be civil. Let's talk it out. Let's make sure the person who deserves to win wins. All right, let's get this started with Susie, and Cheryl will chop in later on. Hello, Susie. Susan, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey, what's up? Not bad. Okay, so for the people that don't know you, tell me your story.
Like where I started.
How'd you get into comedy? Yeah.
I started about 9 years ago. I started with somebody brought me a newspaper ad for Stand Up for Mental Health, which is run by David Grenier.
Okay.
He's here in Vancouver, and I deal with bipolar, so I thought, sure, I wasn't working. I thought it would be something interesting to get into. I grew up in theater. I went to the fine arts school, so I graduated with background in drama and art. So I've always been an actor. But I kind of liked rolling with the punches on my own, like making my own scripts and stuff. So I got into comedy, and I fell on my face many, many times. I started to really like it and do well and get to know the people in the community. So I've slowly worked my way up that way. So about 9 years in, and I now work for the J. Kirsch Entertainment Group and House of I work as a booker and a networking specialist. I was supposed to be moving down to the States this year, actually, because I got a job working for Crave News, which is the all news, no bullshit network. So I was going to be producing and casting with them. And unfortunately, with COVID, I can't get down there. So I'm here. So I'll be in Vancouver for quite some time, I think. But still going through the motions. And I'm starting to, it's funny that now that we're in lockdown, I'm actually starting to do more comedy again. So I've been requested by a few headliners and performers. So one day at a time. That's kind of my show story in short, where I came from and what I'm doing now. So okay. I predominantly work for House of Comedy as a support talent liaison. So I book all the support acts on the road, touring gigs, and J. Kirsch Entertainment. So throughout Calgary, Saskatchewan, Vancouver, Manitoba. So we book through all those areas. And luckily, a lot of those places are still open. So we're able to book comics in those areas.
So you're basically the whole West End. The whole West of Canada, right?
Yeah, we can book most of Western Canada. I've started booking some stuff through like PEI in Ontario. Not too much. It's kind of a slow build one at a time. So, but I think as things progress, we'll start booking there more often for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, Cheryl just joined the conversation, so we'll bring her in.
Hi, Cheryl.
Just give me a sec.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Cheryl. Hey, what's up?
You doing? Yeah, I'm doing.
Doing? All right. Okay, you can hear me and everything? All's good?
Yeah, all good.
All right. So, as Suzanne told us, tell us your story on how you started comedy.
Well, for me, it started with the Yuck Yucks downtown in Yorkville. Many moons ago, when I was just a wee young thing, my father had an advertising agency directly across the street from Yuck Yucks. So for me, growing up, I got to see Howie Mandel. I got to see, all the big celebs of today growing up, not thinking, that I really wanted to get into comedy or anything. I was just around it constantly, and it was just like part of my life. And I naturally, so people have told me I'm naturally funny, whatever that means. I, tell stories. They're true life stories. A lot of people look at me and go, what the F?
Yeah.
After I finish telling stories, so I'm having hair issues. There we go.
No problem. So you got to have no hair. That's the key. That's
I know,
the key.
right? Somebody, funnily enough, dared me today to shave part of my head off. So
Sweet.
who knows? If there's some COVID cash, maybe.
The one thing I learned from COVID is how to shave the back of my head.
Wow.
it's a challenge. Like I sit there like with the mirror and another mirror, and I'm like,
no doubt. Mine is learning how to wax myself in my parts.
Okay. Hey, everybody has challenges. Everybody has challenges.
Yeah, especially the ladies. We have more lady challenges. But for me, it was one night. Joanna Downey was starting. I don't know if you guys remember Joanna Downey. She was
yes.
a Yuck Yucks. She was like
staple
headliner. Yeah, she was a Yuck Yucks staple, and she also had her own gig down at a place called Spirits, which is no longer, unfortunately.
Every Wednesday.
Yeah, every Wednesday. You nailed it. I was born on a Wednesday, so it was meant to be. So she actually triple dog dared me, as she referred it, to get on stage one night. And it was like within the first year that she was doing it. And this woman had a laugh that was so amazing. Like, just would blow your mind. When Joanna laughed at your joke, you knew you were doing it right. That's the kind of feeling she gave you, because she had this great, great laugh. And so it was her that kind of pushed me towards it.
Yeah.
And I did a few more shows, and then I ended up doing a show. Yuck Yucks. So here I am. Is that you making that noise or me?
I'm not too sure.
Feedback. I don't know what's going on.
All right, give me a sec here. All right. Nope.
Okay, how's that? Hear me?
Suzanne, it might be you. Is there anything near your computer, or? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything near your computer?
Can you hear me? It might be in the background. My housemate's here.
Okay, it's just your voice is cutting in and out.
Yeah.
Oh, is it cutting in and out? There we go.
Yeah.
How's that? I just turned it on. There.
All right, give me a sec.
Oh, perfect.
Sound good now?
Wait. Yeah.
No?
Still going.
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
How's it? Okay. Yeah, I muted your mic, so I'll unmute it when you have a question. When I have a question. Cool.
Okay, cool.
Or you
Yeah.
can
So yeah.
Right.
Joanna Downey kind of pushed me in that direction. I ended up doing a show at Yuck Yucks in my early 20s. And Mark actually took me to his office, made me watch myself, because he films everybody just in case he might have a shining star. And he actually, right there on the spot, offered me a cross Canada tour.
Oh, cool.
And I said no. I had to say no.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my mom was dying at the time.
Whoa.
And
okay.
Yeah. So it was like, this is my dream, and my mom, and what do I do? So I made a quick decision, and I said, Mark, I'll get back to you, is what I said to him. So I didn't get back to him for a few years because I got into the film industry. But each time I tried to get away from comedy, it kept on pulling me back into the realm.
It's like the mom just pulling you back in.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it wasn't something like, it was my mind and my heart. That's where my soul is. It's in comedy. And, I've done so many different jobs, but yet I still go back to comedy in the end, like I'm doing, gigs that are, birthday parties for friends and stuff like that. And, over the internob or nut, whatever you want to call it, just to keep, food in the fridge. But, I had planned to go down to LA this year. A girlfriend of mine offered me a couch, and, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, a question for both of you.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just wait till I'll ask it, and then I'll put Susan on first, and then you can answer your question.
Okay.
As a female in comedy, do you find is it a challenge because you're a female? Do you get treated differently? Do you try to be one of the guys, or do you kind of just do your own thing? All right, I'll give this to Susan first. And unmic her.
Well, I always look like one of the guys, so I kind of fit in with the guys. I've always gravitated to industries that have been a little more male dominated. I've always been involved in film and fitness industry, cooking, comedy. I love making people laugh. So yeah, I don't find I was treated much different than the guys, but there has been challenges being a female comic. I mean, I've been booked on shows on the road, and I get a call about a week before, and they're like, "Oh, we just realized that the headliner is also female. They don't want two female headliners or two female comics on the same lineup, so one of us gets." There's lots of times that I have lost out on gigs if rooms are available. They don't want to put a male and a female in the rooms together, and I appreciate that. They're like, "Well, we're gonna have to go with the guy comic." So it does happen. I wouldn't say it's been the worst thing in the world. It's just a matter of finding your own place and trying to be. I prefer to be recognized as a comic rather than a female comic. So
Exactly.
I'll downplay stuff a little bit. Like I don't necessarily I used to dress up a lot, whereas now I'll still dress up kind of. I make myself. I guess the word would be approachable.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm kind of if that makes sense. But
Yeah,
I would
makes
say the biggest challenge I've honestly had, and I know I might get raked over the coals for this, and I don't care anymore. I find the ones that put the most obstacles in my way are the other female comics, not the guys. I find women be the biggest challenge for what I'm trying to do. The way I look at it, I'm like, if you would step back and write more jokes and try and support each other a little bit more, then you might be surprised how many more really good female comics there are in Canada, because I think a lot of them are not recognizing them right now.
Yeah.
Because we're too bickering and fighting with each other.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I'm going to give Cheryl the question. Give me a sec. Okay, Cheryl, what's the question to you? Do you find, as a comic that's female, obstacles, or has it been a challenge?
Same thing that Susan said. I too have worked in predominantly male-dominated arenas, jobs. I worked in the film industry as a locations manager for over a decade. I worked craft service. I was an actor. I was all around it. And with comedy, what you said in regards to the competition between women, like back in the day, there was your staple comics in Canada, and there was like your Marla Lakovsky and your Sandra Seamus and Carla Collins, and they all got along. They were all like, tapping each other's back and giving each other a hug and supporting, giving them the all that women need to, get into this industry. Because like Susan said, I too want to be known as a comic, not a female comic, but just as a comic in a whole. And the really crappy thing about the way the industry's turned, I'd say in the last 20 years for myself personally, because I've been going in and out of the industry because of various situations in my life. And like I said, it keeps drawing me back. Yeah. But the worst part is now that women are actually so cutthroat. They're even more cutthroat than the men. Like I'm not going to name names. I've told like comedy stories and like just running my mouth off to other female comics. And then, 4 months later, I'm watching a show on HBO and I'm listening to my own routine.
Whoa.
Yeah, whoa. I've actually had to email other comics and said, hey man, Can I use my joke since I wrote it? I'm the fucking one who, excuse my language, I'm the one who performed it. Can I use my own effing joke? You think?
Whoa.
Because like Susan said as well, it is a boys' club, admittedly. For a lot of women, they have a hard time getting in. They either got to look the part, like you said, approachable, have the whole, pretty thing going on. As this took me 5 hours to look like this, you know what I mean? And it's going to take me 2 hours to wipe it off. So yeah, women, we struggle, we got more pains than the average Joe. Like, I've actually been on stage with UTI infection and like had to wear a lady diaper because I knew if I was going to run over 15 minutes, I'd have to be doing my business on the stage, and you do what you got to do,
At this point,
I know I'm getting a little too much information.
At this point, I would like to check my male privilege. It only took me 20 minutes to look like this.
You rat bastard, you.
And most of that was wrestling my cats out of the washroom.
Right on.
I'm checking my male privilege. I didn't know you girls had it so rough.
And then we got to get on stage and make these other bitches laugh, right?
Yeah. Now, okay, let's talk. You mentioned joke stealing. And I'm going to ask Susan if she's had the same experience. But I've had the same experience too. I've had a comic perform my joke, one of my jokes in front of me. And the part that really pissed me off is he fucked up the punchline.
Oh!
Like, I'm like, if you're going to steal my joke, do it right,
man. Yeah.
All right, let's talk. Let's get Susan. All right. Your perspective. Has anyone ever stolen one of your jokes? Okay, we can't hear you. Susan, we can't hear you. Can't hear you. Oh, wait. There we go. Are you in? Are you back? All right. Give me a sec here. Susan, we'll bring Susan back in a minute. She's having technical difficulties on her end.
All right.
I'll just see if she's doing well now. What I'm going to do is remove her for a sec and add her back. And how's that going? Susan, can you hear us? All right, we can't hear you. So we're going to take a second and we'll join the conversation in a minute. We'll check out Susan in a bit. Never had this before, but this is the fun about live streaming.
It's the after effect of the full moon, right?
Yeah.
It's a residual of the blue moon.
Was an interesting thing this year.
And then some.
Yes. Well, okay, what do you guys think about identity politics and comedy?
As far as you have to put on a show? Is that what you're saying? You're
just the backlash of preferred spots for certain types of people.
Oh yeah, definitely. And, I know what you're talking about now. I myself have been accused of being either too aggressive, or too aggressive.
Gotcha. No, I was just thinking because,
but it's part of my shtick, growing up around Mike McDonald. Like, Mike McDonald was like a mentor to me. I'd known Mike since I was 14 years old. And so just being around him as a friend, because he was a friend of my family, and it was like, you just develop a kind of image, and then people, they put you into a corner, and it's like you can't get out of it because you have been pigeonholed, right?
Okay.
So yeah. It's kind of different because like some shows
jokes that are
I've had to tone down because of the venue or the message that the show was trying to give. Like I've done shows that were for various like I did a show for like it was a catastrophe or something or other it was called, for all the money was going to go to like the cats in the alleys and stuff. So
all right, I think we're going to try Susan. She's moved to a new location, so see if she brings it back. Hey Susan, can you hear us? Can we hear you? Say something. Okay, we can't hear you.
How about now?
Yeah, now.
yeah.
Okay. So, joke stealing. Have you ever had one of your jokes stolen? Okay, she's cutting in and out.
Yeah. It's the weather.
Can I speak now? Okay. Well, I'll give you a second. I'm going to mute you and then try you in a second. Okay, so that's weird.
It's a full moon.
Yes, it's a full moon. So, identity politics.
Yeah.
And comedy.
Yeah.
I find identity politics is pretty much racist because they're dividing people.
It is. It's a form of racism. You nailed it. You absolutely nailed it because, you've got your, happy-go-lucky, politically correct comedy crew, and, they are more the norm, more the mainstream acceptable comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not too in your face, and depending on, some comics are very topical and they focus on the majority in the audience as far as what's going on in the world, and so it works to their advantage.
Yeah.
And other times some people just can't wrap their head around it and they just spew their guts, and it's automatically okay, you're going to be over here away from this group of people because you are too much, because there's the comics that are really over the top, and that unfortunately nowadays, because the world's turned into a bunch of pussies,
Gotcha.
they can't handle like people like ourselves, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's in the end you're producing and doing your own shows because there's an audience out there, because you've got the people around you, you've got the fans. It's just nobody's doing the shows because obviously COVID screwed every aspect of the entertainment industry, whether it be comedy, music, theatrical, whatever, everything. And we're doing stuff like this, and I myself am hoping that maybe this YouTube channel that I'm doing, and my comediatrix, there we go, .com one day will explode, and we'll all be hanging out at my place somewhere on the beach.
Gotcha. All right, let's see. Susan, can you hear us? Susan? Ooh, hey, Susan, can you hear us? All right, Susan, can you hear us? Talk.
Susan.
Oh, good. You know sign language. Okay, you can hear us. Can you say something? We can't hear you.
No comprende.
We can't hear you. All right. Technical difficulties.
Ah, damn you, full moon.
I can hear you. Heard everything.
Okay, cool.
Is it
We
working
can now hear you.
now?
Now we hear you.
Yep.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
This
Say
internet is the
something.
worst.
Yeah. So, your input.
Can you hear? I don't even.
Yeah, we can hear you. What's your input on
I can hear
identity
you.
politics?
Yeah.
What's your input on identity politics and comedy?
I can hear you.
Okay, seems to be a little delay.
I can hear you guys, but I don't think you can hear me.
We can hear you now.
I can hear you now.
No. I'm gonna have to go. It's my Wi-Fi.
Okay, no problem. We'll talk to you later. Thanks
Bye,
for joining.
Sue.
Thanks for joining the Wi-Fi. We'll talk to you later on at a later date, okay? All right. We'll see how that goes. All right.
Okay.
So we only got like 5 more minutes.
All right.
What are your plans? What are your plans for the future?
My plans for the future is to get my new one-woman show together. I did one over here a few moons ago, back in 2015, down at the 120 Diner.
Yep.
Down on Church Street, and it was called the SSS, the Safe Sex Slut Show, and I got some pretty decent reviews, but unfortunately it was pigeonholed into I was too much, it was a little too much, and I had to tone it down. Tone it down, and kind of revise it a bit. But like, I've got different routines for different crowds, let's say.
Yeah.
Like, most comics have to in order to sustain a living at it. And that's one cruel bitch that they don't tell you,
Yes.
It's something you got to figure out on your own. And it's life's lessons of learning, and with comedy, I must say, out of all the industries I've ever worked in, has to be the most evil of industries, because like you and myself have both experienced people talking smack about you to the point where you get blacklisted, and it's not even true stories, and you're asking these people, hey man, if you want the truth, just come to me, I'll give you the truth. And it's just so it's a shame, because there used to be a time in the comedy industry for women that we could support each other and, build each other's self-esteem up. But now it's just so torn that it's more of a shit show where they're just backstabbing each other. Like you said, you saw somebody do your shtick, let's say, your joke. I had the same experience where I was watching another performer perform the exact same jokes, and the person that I was with, we both looked at each other like this and went, "Are you kidding me?" Like, are you kidding me? Like, good thing the show was free, but still, it's a shame.
Suzanne's back. Let's see if her mic's working.
Oh my God.
Is your mic working?
My mic. Let's see if it works from here. I'm sorry, I have the worst Wi-Fi on the face of the planet. Oh my God.
It must be Rogers Cable, right?
Oh, it's Shaw.
Oh,
same thing.
Out in BC, it's Shaw or Telus. All right, so
aren't Shaw and Rogers the same?
Pretty much. Suzanne, what do you got going on in the future?
I just finished up a tour with Jeremy Huck, so hopefully when Toronto and Ottawa opens again, I'll be doing that. And we've got some amazing headliners coming in through Vancouver through the club, so I'm looking after that, of course, a fair bit. I've just got a couple of Zoom shows this week. I think I've got one for the San Francisco Levity and the Cobb's Comedy Club on Wednesday. So we're doing some Canadian specialties, and I'm supposed to be in Vegas on the 9th of I'm supposed to be there for World Series of Comedy, but
right on.
Don't think I'm going to get there. So I'll be judging. I'll probably be judging from here.
Well, what we got to find out, or what we got to wait for before we go back to the States, is on Friday, will there still be a States?
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
What's going to happen? Will it be a civil war?
I'm terrified.
I know.
I'm terrified for them.
Yeah. I'm just like, I mean, stay calm. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I have this nightmare of just people taking to the streets fighting each other.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Pretty much.
I know.
Every
I'm just so
Canadian,
grateful. I'm so grateful to be Canadian. Like,
yeah,
you know,
like
I've never
every
been more
Canadian,
grateful.
every Canadian right now is just getting popcorn, heading to the border, be like,
Yeah. We're the fly on the
Let's
wall right
watch
now.
the
Like,
show. Yeah.
yeah, we're the fly on the wall. And yeah, it should be interesting. So, yeah, tomorrow's going to be a very long day.
Long, arduous day.
Yes.
And then they
Yes.
don't know for what, 2 months?
No, well, maybe like
3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah,
2
okay. You see how hip I am with the whole thing, right? I looked at my friend the other day and I went, what's mega
Did you
mean?"
want me to try and answer any of those questions now? I don't know if my internet's
Sure.
working.
Yeah, like okay, identity politics and comedy. Is it good or bad? Like, I mean, is it great for you or harmful to you?
What do you mean, like typecasting?
Yeah,
Kind of-
like typecasting or preferred spots for blah 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 kind of shows.
I've always been I'm not one for identity politics. I'm not one for putting I know what people are like, well, we need more women in comedy, we need more diversity in comedy. I'm like, what? Funny is funny. If you continuously book funny, you might be surprised how diverse stuff is. Just let people be are. I don't think any comic wants to be hired just because they're female or just because they're black or just because they're Armenian or whatever they are. I don't think any of us want to be identified as that. We just want to be identified as funny. So I've always pushed towards, especially at the club, like funny is funny first. And I was actually surprised what my lineups ended up looking like. And I know some people are like, oh, you guys don't hire enough women, or I'm like, yeah, but you've got like 300 men versus like 15 women. So of course there's going to be some indiscrepancies, but I believe in equality, or not equality. I believe in equality of opportunity, not outcome. Funny is funny.
Yeah.
If you happen to be the funniest woman in the room, fine, then maybe you'll get booked, but you've got to be funnier than everyone in the room, not just the guys. You got to be funnier than everybody.
Yeah.
So that's where
I actually had an incident many years ago. I was on stage and I did a set, and another comic bought me a drink, and the bartender looked at me and she went like this. Don't drink that drink is what that meant, right? Because apparently this other comic who bought me a drink had spat in that drink.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's yeah. So that's kind of stuff Toronto's about. Yeah.
See, I was kind of going with I thought you were going to go with the roofie thing.
No,
like,
I wish at least you catch a bus, right? Not somebody's cold.
Yeah. Like, oh God.
Yeah.
That's just scum.
It's hardcore. Yeah, it's hardcore stuff, you know. That's another reason why I was like, okay, what am I gonna do now? You know, I'm just like, people are spitting in my drinks. Like, what?
Well, that's gross. Like, like that's disgusting. Like, we're supposed to be adults.
I know, you think,
Seems
right? It's like a bunch of kindergartners. Yeah, it is.
Like you guys are all. I just find it interesting. People are pissing and moaning on Facebook and Instagram. Oh, this comment this and this one did that. And I'm like, you know what? If you guys got off social media for 10 bloody minutes and go and write yourself 2 or 3 jokes, you'd be surprised how much farther you would get in comedy. Whether it's if you want to be a comic or a booking agent, or if you want to get into the film and television industry, just work. Try not focusing on everybody else around you. And for a time, I would focus on what other people thought of me. And I finally got to a point I was like, I can either let me down or I can do exactly what I know I'm supposed to be doing. And I really like what I'm doing. And I really like booking. I love every part of this industry. I want to see people do well. And the best way for them to do well is if I put my best foot forward, they're going to start to see that. And a lot of people eventually start following in those steps. So I'm
lead
tired
by example.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm tired of just being I know a lot of people assume or hear that my silence is a weakness. And no, I'm a watcher and I'm an observer. I watch what's going on in the comedy scene. I watch what's going on Instagram and Facebook and everything else. And some comics like, oh, you never booked me. Well, you surprised why you're not getting booked. If you're ripping down so-and-so online and you're stealing jokes from somebody else, and you've got problems going on with this one. Why would I bother? I want the comics that are just working to be good.
Professional.
That's it. Yeah.
People who are,
Exactly.
Well, me and Suzanne experienced, I'm thinking like 2007 it was, the takeover of the Vancouver Comedy Forum. And all shit hit the fan. And basically every comic it imploded. Every comic was like, fuck it, I'm out. I don't want to deal with this shit. And then, they were attacking everybody who had an opinion that didn't agree with them. Yeah. And they thought that was a power move, but all you did was just call yourself out as a problematic.
You dig your own grave.
Yeah. Because every pro comic's like, no, I don't want them on my tour. No, I don't want to perform with them. Yeah. No, I don't want them on my show. They're problems.
Yep. Absolutely. The easier you are to get along with, the easier you're going to get booked. Yeah. Bottom line, like myself, unfortunately, I had a bit of health issues to deal with that took me away from the stage. But now that I've got that under control, I'm back with a vengeance. I'm actually getting a comedy album together to hopefully get out. Well, not hopefully. I am going to get out for Christmas. I've got 82 more books to go through. I've gone through 82 books. I've been through 52 already, and I've got 82 more, something like that. In any case, I don't trust my computer because I lost a lot of comedy a few years ago. Yeah. And so I went back to writing, and it was really weird because I hadn't written in years and I couldn't even, I had to remember how to write because I've been texting and typing for so long. Right. Yeah. And so I'm going to get my comedy album out, get it on Spotify, get it on every venue I could possibly get it on. Yeah. And then hopefully that'll bring me to where I want to be this time next year, kicking ass.
I recorded a comedy, like a 20-minute solid laughter, the whole nine, sounds good, quality's great, show, like EP at Club 54. And, nice. And I'm debating if I should try to find a low indie stream to go through or a hardcore punk rock label to go through, because then they will get me to the audience who get me.
I say both. I say go both ways.
You might cross over on a few labels. So just put it out there for a few.
Yeah. And then the fact that it was like Club 54 is like in the background, and it was at the iconic Club 54 in Burlington. And I remember as a kid watching that and then going there and performing on it was a personal accomplishment of mine.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Other people are going to shit on it, but I'm like, no, that was for me and my dad.
I hear you.
Away. That was for me and my dad.
Totally.
So,
totally.
Yeah. I felt that. Awesome. And the fact that it turned out great, it's like high quality, I'm sticking with that.
That's awesome.
All right. Okay,
I did a show just quickly at the Alma Combo before they shut it down and revamped it. And it was when Doug Ford was, his brother was running Toronto, Rob Ford. And strange enough, I went to school with those two asshats. Yeah, there's more stories. Oh, yeah. I got some stories for you, Carol.
Oh, this is good. We're going to chat again.
Call me. We got to chat.
Oh, this is awesome.
I did a show called Ford Follies, and we got a sweatshirt with Rob Ford on the front of it, and he looked completely whacked out like he did on the front of the Star, and it said cracked on the top and all this stuff. And I was on the stage of the Alma Combo, and I'm standing there before, we were getting all set up. And I'm standing there remembering of all the bands that I've seen on this exact stage. And I stood there and I went, man, I'm standing where the Ramones used to stand.
Oh, yeah.
It was just like, and then it was like, Stevie Ray Vaughan, he was here too. And I was just like, all these different, because so I don't think they'd ever really done any comedy there before. It was just something new that people were using the place for, because they didn't know what was going to happen to it, if they're going to tear it down or if someone was going to buy it. And Michael Michael bought it and turned it into the superstar place that it is now. And yeah, that was my glory hole, let's say.
Well, let's just say, Susan, you have to share, what was your favorite iconic stage to perform on?
You know what? It actually happened not that long ago. I got I met a friend here in Vancouver. He books in the States. So he happened to be performing at my club, Laugh Lines, and he asked me to come to, I think it was in San Francisco, to perform at Cobb's Comedy Club to headline for him. And I walked into that room and I was like, I'd never seen a club like this before. It was like 800 seats. On a Wednesday, it was full. It was full.
Wow.
And it was the most incredible experience to get out there. And I was like, oh my God, I'm headlining a show. And these people were so excited to be there. And it was at a pinnacle point where I'd already been through shit and been just slowly getting better, because I seem to do much better in the States than here. I can't crack through some of the groups here. And to know that room full and to hear some of those people and like kill Tony Hinchcliffe of all people, is just like, that was awesome, man. When can you do a show? And I was like, as soon as I'm at the store.
Oh my God.
It was
wow.
Amazing. And it led me to being able to get down to the Comedy Store, because I work for a couple of people that we do a lot of work for the Comedy Store. So to go down to the Comedy Store, and I didn't perform there, but to walk on that stage and to see those people and to hang out with them and to see those rooms and what they go through and to sit and watch. I got to sit through 3 separate trips. I went to LA and watch Dave Chappelle work on that brand new special and then see it on Netflix. I was like, I saw it in the fucking beginning. It was awesome. It led me to some really amazing stuff. Like the last couple of years, I've kind of gone, fuck you, I don't need this. And I've done my own thing, and I've started the festival. I do this festival circuit and stuff, and it has really been nice to a lot of stuff. But Cobb's was just, it was out of this world. It's a beautiful club, beautiful city. And some of those coming out and be like, that was a great show. I'm like, thanks. I think it was good too. So it felt great.
Yeah, it's kind of weird when you get off stage and you're like you hear the laughter, but you're more thinking about your timing.
Yeah.
What's the next joke? And like, how's it going? Am I losing them? Am I having them? What's the next joke? And you're going through that in your head, and you get off stage, and the guys are like, no, dude, that was awesome. And I'm like, really?
Yeah. To get on, all of a sudden I was nervous as hell. My mouth was so dry. And then AC/DC Back in Black comes on, and I knew that was my time to go on. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, we got this. And as soon as I walk out there, I was like, hey, Canadian. They were like, and we're so happy to see. They were like, oh my God, Canadian. So it just made it that much better. It was probably one of the best days of my life.
That's awesome.
Oh, so I get it now. You're using your Canadian privilege
to
get stage time. Oh, I see how it is.
It's about time.
All right, girl. This has been a blast. I wish the best to you. It's almost 45. I gotta wrap it up. And so yeah, guys, thanks for coming to join the show and giving your female perspective.
Cheryl, we'll be talking soon.
Oh yes, for sure. I'll be in Vancouver probably January. And Cheryl, when Toronto opens up, you still want to do that rock show, a rock and roll show.
Oh, we're so doing it. We're so doing it. If we can't find the venue, we'll make the venue.
I got you. Okay, girls. Have a good time.
Come and use my venue.
Okay.
I will.
Well, yeah, that means we got to move out. We got to get to Vancouver. And
I'll get you here.
I got some air miles. How about you guys?
I'll get you guys.
I got a thumb.
We'll get you.
All right, girls. Talk to you.
We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was 2 wonderful women giving their perspective on females in comedy. So long story short, they want to be comics who are female, not female comics. I've seen them both perform live. They're awesome. They're hard-hitting. They don't pussyfoot around. Well, that was a wonderful show. Today is November 2nd. I hope you had a wonderful, safe Halloween. And tomorrow, America, get out, vote, but whatever you do, keep your cool. Keep your patience. We don't know who wins until after every vote is counted. So I love you all, and I'll see you next week. Take care, take care, stay safe. I want to see you around. I love you. Bye-bye.